Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. I'm Thomas Festa, my friends, and this is Disclosure Tonight. Happy Friday, April 3rd, 2026. Look what's going on. Disclosure's on fire, my friend. Literally, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about here today, more than I ever planned on. On that note, let's go ahead and get this party started. But first, I have to go ahead and welcome our people from the audience, and let's see who the hell we have out there. Let's take a look and welcome in. I see Anne Marie's here, along with Carl Garrison. Good to see you, Carl. Han's here, along with Constellation. We've got Dan Larev, Doggy Doggies here, along with Eliza Teal. We got Fear Inflicted Firefly and Geraldine Durazio. Good to see you, my friends. John E. Geldhill is here, along with Julie Boyce. Good to see you, Justin, Kay Northrup, Kathy, and Kelly Bro, those piercing blue eyes. Good to see you, Kelly. Louie's out there, along with Martime. We got Max Metal, Mystery Melissa. Good to see you. Neil Morgan, along with Necessary Dialogue. Good to see you, my friend. PC Anderson's out there, along with Plywood Pigeon. We got Old Gaffer just showed up. Mixed up my list a little bit there. Let's move on. We've got Prism Films US, Rainstorm Hunter, Randy Robert, Roni Dio, Robert Vargas. Sam's in the chat, along with Scooby Dooby Gooby. We got Shelley Montgomery, who just gave us a great super chat. Who else is out there? We got Stephen Mateo, Supercharged, Land Cruiser, Super Unknown, the Coin 405. We got Wendy, Joe, Yankee, 5858. How about that? No Yellow Tommy Tanker. Must be still at work on that note. Let's go ahead and jump into the studio and see how our dear friend Mike, how the hell are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Seems like we have a lot to talk about tonight. It's going to be an interesting show.
Yeah, it should be. Just so everybody knows, I fucked with OBS. I had to. It was fucking up too many times. I've rebuilt everything. It should be fine. If my audio isn't clear enough or other stuff is happening, just tell me in the chat like you usually do, and I'll try to adjust it on the fly. But I think we got something going here. Yeah, Mike, lots of great things going on here today. But before we get going, I want to go ahead and thank some of our viewers for throwing out a super chat. Holy cow, we got 3 of them starting off the show already today. First one came in from Brennan England. Hi, everyone. Cheers, Thomas and Mike. As always, thank you, Brennan England. With another one from Shelley Montgomery. DT is the place to be. Thank you very much, Shelley. Appreciate it. And Anne Marie, Australian, $7.99. Thank you very much, everybody. Mike, you were just saying?
Yeah, I was just saying there's going to be a lot of interesting things that we're going to go over tonight, and we'll see where everything goes.
Oh, yeah. What I need to do is I need to drag out 4 files so we can go through them easier.
Yep.
2, that's page 3, page 2. Yeah, I was really surprised by this. Representative Anna Polina Luna put off a letter earlier this week to Pete Hegseth, who's the current Secretary of War from the Department of War at this particular point, and she is demanding what amounts to 46 videos that she's probably aware of coming in from the FBI. That'd be our guess, right, Mike?
Yes, that's where they had the meeting with Congress. They had it in the afternoon with the FBI, and in the morning she saw Arrow and got no information out of them on that day. There were 2 meetings. So this definitely came from the FBI, because her and Burchett, after that meeting, said that they've never seen information like that was revealed to them before. So it has to be the FBI and that special unit, that X-Files unit that is investigating disclosure.
Yeah. It's got to be, Mike. So let's get to this letter, bring it up. Hopefully this is breaking news for our audience out there. We try to find the latest stuff, and there's a lot of stuff to go ahead and cover. Let's get that down. Let's get the auto chat turned back up, and let's get into checking out this document. Where am I going here? I guess we're going to go video. Thomas, that should work for it. All right, so coming to us from Congress of the United States, House of Representatives. The Committee for Oversight and Government Reform, going to the Honorable Pete Hegseth, Secretary of the Department of War. Dear Secretary Hegseth, the Committee on the Oversight and Government Reforms Task Force on the Declassification of National Secrets is continuing its investigation into unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP. The continued lack of transparency surrounding these anomalies and the potential national security threat they pose is troubling. On September 9th, 2025, the task force held a hearing and focused on these concerns. Whistleblowers informed the task force that ARO possesses additional video records of potential UAP sightings. To continue its investigation, the task force requests certain video files related to UAP sightings. The lack of disclosure, regarding the very real threat posed by UAPs in and around the U.S. restricted airspace is concerning. The task force has found responses from ARO when questioned about UAP sightings and provided data less than adequate. The presence of UAPs in and around these sensitive airspaces of U.S. military installations poses a threat to the security of the armed forces and their readiness. I guess unless you're Donald Trump, because we've got a quote of him, actually a question that was asked by Peter Doocy from Fox News. We'll play that one in a bit, where he specifically asked about the drones flying over our nuclear Air Force bases. And Mike, he just freaking completely ignore the question completely. First time I've seen him do this, but there's a reason for it. He doesn't want to go ahead and discuss deficiencies or problems in the military that potentially our enemies could exploit, which they have been exploiting for a long time. So let's get back to these video names. The task force, in its investigation of UAPs, we request the following videos be delivered as soon as possible, but no later than April 14th, 2026. That would just give us 11 calendar days, Mike, until it gets there. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Okay, the first one is called from 8/26/22. That's August 26th of 2022. A 4 UAP formation. They're pretty specific on what they're asking for. Next one, and just in 2021, they're asking for a Syrian UAP with instant acceleration. Kind of sounds like the Tic Tacs. Number 3, a UAP USO formation. It's from Wiley, 2 times zinc. The next one is a cigar-shaped or flat spherical UAP on 10/15. of 2022. The list goes on. Let's get to it. Let me a little bit so we can zoom up and check it out. All right, here we go. Number 5, a spherical UAP erratic movement remix from Rust in 2022. So this is a combination video that was put together that exists. The next one, 6, spherical UAP over AFG. Correct this, get that back there. All right. AFG in and out of clouds on 11/23/2020. Next one, 7, spherical UAP pulsing over water jacker 2 times. Number 8, spherical UAP in clouds. Number 9, Voodoo 4X cranberry, which is probably be like a cranberry colored orb, would be my guess, UAP. Number 10, they're talking about the NGA, a UAP on June 1st of 2010. NGA, I believe that's the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, right?
It is. That's exactly where David Grush was working.
100%.
Right.
So next one, spherical UAP Warlock 4 times. On 4/12 of 21, and there are not 1, not 2, but there are 3 videos. You know, Mike, you can tell it's coming from a programmer when they start counting with 0.
Right.
Because usually that's what arrays do. The first, it always counts from 0 first. Let's move on to it. Programmer joke here. The next one is the AFSOC in Kabul. A UP, it was back in 2017, no specific date given, but not bad. The next one is the USCG-144, UAP with 2 Tic Tacs, IR hot, meaning that the white is the hot color, which is, I believe, heat. Correct, Mike?
Yes.
And that is on 2/24. It looks like potentially they gave us the same video twice. It's the same description. Right. Let's move on from that one. Next one we're coming into is multiple spherical UAP USO near a sub at the Cactus 1X. What's this here? My connection died for a second. In and out of water from 3/25/20 2022. Our next one we've got is IR 66S0515123, which is a video footage of a UAP captured by a fifth-generation aircraft, which that'd be an F-35, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be.
Because the sixth generation is going to be the new F-47.
Right.
Then that took place on January 20th of 2023. This one is just generic, an F-18 FLIR UAP video. The next one we have is another IR coming out of Eglin Air Force Base in 2023. I wonder if this is the one that...
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that her and Matt Gaetz and Burchett went to go see.
We got some crazy quotes from Matt Gaetz. And people backing him up. Hybrid breeding programs, not headed up by the aliens, but by the humans in an effort to go ahead and establish communication.
Okay.
I didn't say it. We'll play it again shortly. We'll get there. Next one, but it's a doozy. Next one is a USAF ANG F-16C. Shoots down UAP over Lake Huron with an AIM-9X missile on 2/12/2023. Look, Mike, they actually do have a video of shooting down that UAP over Lake Huron. I don't remember when the tankers were circling.
There was no video. None.
Apparently there is.
Yeah. And apparently Luna saw it.
Yeah.
In that meeting, yeah.
Next one, administrative revision, IIR. This is in Kazakhstan. God, what was the comedian from Kazakhstan? Borat. This is the Borat UAP.
Yeah.
From Kazakhstan. UAP in vicinity of Karaganda International Airport. The next one we've got here, and move it up a little bit higher so everyone can see it, is, and this is in 2023, is several UAP in the vicinity of the Columbus, Ohio airport. Gee, I wonder if that's close to, what do you call it? Wright-Patterson in Ohio.
Yeah.
Could be.
It could be. Yeah,
Next one. We've got number 22 of 46. An MQ-9 observer UAP in the East China Sea. This was on January 5th, 2023. You know, RO just apparently is truly acting as a cover-up agency, Mike.
Yes, it is.
Who would have thought?
We never would have guessed that. We've been calling them out for years.
Oh, yeah, and good old Kirky, Mr. Pinocchio himself, did pop up today. Amazing that. He's got another appearance that he's scheduled to go ahead and talk about this stuff. But he came back in a really interesting conversation with Deeding Johnson that a lot of people picked up on. And it looks like, yeah, it's almost like Kirkpatrick is saying, oh, yeah, we've probably got these videos, but we can't go ahead and release them because it almost sounds like they're trying to, he's talking about their need to control the narrative. I thought they were just supposed to report the facts, not control the narrative, right?
Well, that was their mission statement when they got stood up by Gillibrand.
Yeah.
They're supposed to investigate and make it public, but they never did that.
No.
We still didn't get the report from them, did we?
No, we didn't, Mike, did we? The yearly report is well a year overdue, and their historical record, Volume 2, is a year and 3/4 overdue at this point.
So they're violating the law by not producing it.
Yeah.
Oh, big shock there.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've ever followed the law, except their own.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I digress. Let's get into this one. Next one is an Assault 1X, 1 times is Steel, which is from 6/13/2022. An assault. I don't think that's them assaulting us. I think that's us assaulting them.
Maybe.
Yeah. 24 is an EP3 observed UAP in the ECS on 6/9/21. 25 is a Lightning Lavender observes a UAP on 1/3/21. Again, tons of sightings. We're not seeing anything from 2024, 2025, or even 2026 at this point. We're going back years all the way till the 2022, 2023 timeframe. But it kind of points out, Mike, to someone who may have been in a role during that time frame that is no longer in that role at this point in time. Perhaps Matthew Brown.
Perhaps, yeah, that's a good point. Next
one, Hackney. Toxic 6 observes and tracks a UAP on 11/2/2020, and there's not one video, but there's two. We got another Toxic 6. This is Mercury. Observes 3 fast-moving UAPs on 10/29/20. Next one is another Toxic 6. Observe UAPs on 11/20/20. So we're looking at
this is during the pandemic.
10/20, 10/29, and 11/20, all within like a month of each other, less than a month.
Yeah,
and there was
seems like a lot of activity.
Yeah, 4 videos for that. It just shows there's patterns, things that are going on. Here's another one. Greed observes UAP on 11/16/20. The next one, Mad Dog 31, observes a UAP on 10/17/20. Day after it, on the same day, Regulator 73. These have got to be call names. Observes UAP on 10/17/20. So again, 3 more. Actually, 10/17, 10/16. Let's go to this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 8 videos within a very short amount of time.
There was a lot of activity.
From 10/16/20. Actually, let's take it back. From 9/16/20 all the way through 11/2/20. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos. That seems like a hot spot to me, Mike.
It does, and this is also, let me remind you, during the pandemic and those days, they seem to have been very busy and active.
I think they're busy and active all the time. They're not on our schedules.
No.
Next one, number 34, is Granny's rheumatism medicine kicks in. Thank you, Granny. I appreciate your vodka. It does a great job on killing back pain as usual. 34, UAP on the East Coast on December 1st, 2019. A Toxic 6 UAP like we saw up there at 5/20. Hold on, Mike. It's that hot spot again. That same thing, 5/20, and Toxic 6 UAP Hackney observes a UAP on 8/31/20. 2 videos. This is a big. This is all related. All of these. You have another one. Hellhound 1X Coffee observes a UAP on 8/24/20. Toxic 6 observes again UAP in the Persian Gulf.
Yeah, these are call signs to the fighter pilots.
Yeah. Now we know where they're at least.
Yeah, they have gun camera footage, obviously.
Persian Gulf. Gee, I wonder, are they near they're all near that Gulf of Oman, Mike.
I know. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Oman seems to be a hot spot.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. God, there's so many things we could talk about. We talked about this before, but let's just move on. Hackney 6, Toxic 6 UAP observations on 8/20. We had Hackney 6 and MQ9. Gulf of Arabia, dual UAP on 5/5/20. And then we had Hackney 5X Mint HD video on 2020-2/13. It looks like all of these. Just get here. Come on. All of these, Mike, are all
military videos.
Well, they're military, but they're all linked with each other. It's in the same area.
Seems to be where they're operating during that time.
Yeah. Hello, Sultan of Oman. Give me a call, please. We should talk.
Yeah.
Oh, there is Sultan of Oman. I'm sorry. It's just Quackers is checking on the glass again. All right, let's get to it. So next is, they had two videos there. Next one, 37. If you're not wondering who Quackers is, he's a crazy duck who hangs out here with his girlfriend, Soup. We got Soup and Quackers. Got to have fun with it. And, yeah, he's knocking on the door. Wants to know, he wants everybody to know that he's here. Yes, I will get a Quackers cam hooked up again so we can do that. Next one, Hellhound 1X. Coffee observes a UAP in 8/24/20. Next, here's Toxic 6 again. Observes UAP in the Persian Gulf on 8/21/20. Hackney 6, which is going back to Toxic 6, UAP observations on 8/8/20. Then we have Hackney 6 MQ9, which is one of our Reaper drones. Gulf of Arabia, dual UAP on 5/5/20. And the last one on this page, we're getting near the end, Hackney 5X Mint HD 2020, February 13th, 2020. Let's get to the last ones. Hackney 6 MQ9 UAP in the Persian Gulf. HH11 UAPs on 7/13/18. High res Hackney 4X, Persian Gulf area again, observes UAP at 21:35 Zulu. End of the day on 9/25/19. Next, UFOs in formation over the Persian Gulf. Again, 46. High resolution Hackney 4X, 4 times observes UAPs at 17:15 Zulu on 9/23/19. The Committee on Oversight and Government Reform is a principal oversight committee of the United States House of Representatives and has broad authority to investigate, quote, any matter, unquote, at, quote, any time, unquote, under House Rule X, to arrange for delivery of documents or to ask any related follow-up questions. Please contact the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform Majority Staff at 202-255-5074. Call them if you got questions, friends, and demand the truth. Thank you for your attention of importance to this matter. Yours sincerely. Like how she signs her L big. You know what reminds me of?
What?
Laverne and Shirley.
Yes.
The big
Laverne.
L.
Yeah. You're right.
Luna. CC, the Honorable James Crockett, ranking member, who's not going to be a ranking member for much longer, and the Task Force on Declassification of Federal Secrets. So, Mike, I think this is the most detailed list we've seen to date, listing out different UAP videos that the federal government, more importantly, the DOD, has been hiding from the American people and Congress. The people who are, supposed to give oversight, but maybe they think they don't need to know. What do you think?
I think it's classified because it's out of the military. I think all of these military videos, until President Trump declassifies them, we're not going to see shit. They're not going to release it. And I think that's the point that Kirkpatrick was making.
Yeah.
If it's classified, we're not getting it, and Trump would have to declassify this. Hegseth can't do it, not on his own. It would have to come from Trump.
Right.
So are we going to get that? I don't know.
I don't know what we're going to get, Mike, but we have someone watching as usual. She likes to watch.
Yes.
The erection killer in chief.
He is. Susan Gore.
Oh, God, yeah.
Very interesting.
Oh, it is. It's very interesting. And I saw this list and I was like, holy shit, she named names. She really did.
Yeah. Now we'll see how they go to bury it and cover it up.
That seems to be the way, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately. And with everything we have going on currently in Iran, which doesn't look like it's going to be over anytime soon, I think they're going to put this on the back burner and nothing is going to move forward right now.
Yeah. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. I know it's going to be, you're going to miss me for a second. I want to try this on here just for this one scene. There we go. I've had this video for a while of the Starfield running in the background. I saw it when I cleaned up my stuff. It's like, okay, let's do a test and see how this looks. Why not? So, all right, what else we've got? We got a lot of things to cover here today. So we've got the first thing on our list to go ahead and cover. On the next one, Mike, odd things have been going on with our dearly departed General McCasland.
Yes, it seems like it. This is an unusual case, and it seems to get stranger as time goes on.
Yeah, it is. All right. So I've got one clip about it here. This is coming from Fox News, actually, no, this is coming from Fox News, April 2nd, going ahead and doing an overview on where we're at. But there's interesting stuff. We've got a recorded phone call coming from the wife of McCasland, giving us some really crazy details, Mike, that I did not expect.
Oh, it's the 911 call. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we finally got it. Took them long enough.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, yeah. So let's get to here. Daryl, your hand is up, my friend.
Yeah, I just want to say I've heard this call, and I just want to make sure everybody hears.
We're not playing it yet, but go ahead.
Right. Well, I want to make sure everybody hears whose doctor she went to.
His doctor.
Yeah. So she went to a doctor's office, had an appointment at 11:30, and she was home by 12:04.
All right. Since he gave it away, I've got the full one coming from an audio clip coming to us from Law and Crime Sidebar over on YouTube. I'll just put up the general picture of this one. This is the full dialogue. I think it goes on for 2 minutes and 7 seconds. I believe this is the full audio clip. Let's go ahead and play this one and see where it goes. Let me go ahead and get this up here. I just have a generic picture to put up because I don't want to break copyright. Apparently, I've been playing a little dangerously lately. Gotta play a little bit less dangerously. So where the hell am I? Let's get to this one. Video guest. Okay, so this is the audio clip coming from General McCasland's wife. Let's go ahead and play this, and I think you guys will enjoy it. Here we go.
This is April. How may I help you?
Hi, April. My name is Susan Wilkerson. My husband is missing.
Okay.
And it's been about 3 hours, and I have some indication that he must have planned not to be found. He's left his phone. He changed his clothes into I don't know what. I think he's on foot. All of our cars and bicycles are in the garage. I left for a doctor's appointment at about 11:10, and he was here at that time at the house. And I got back from that at noon, and he was gone. He turned it off and left it behind, which seems kind of deliberate because he's always got his phone.
So here we go, Daryl. A couple things I saw you raising your finger in attention there.
Yep.
All right, let's plan.
He has a smartwatch. I don't know if that's with him or not.
Has he ever done this before?
Never. Nothing even remotely like it. He's a retired Air Force Major General. He's very responsible, but he's also facing some medical issues.
Do you have any video at your home?
No.
Has he been diagnosed with any mental disorders or anything like that?
Well, we've been seeing a doc for both physical and mental in terms of anxiety, short-term memory loss, lack of sleep. The same doc I went to see today.
Does he carry any weapons on him?
Well, not generally. He does have a gun safe.
Wait a minute. So, Daryl, did I hear her say that she's having the same symptoms as her husband?
I don't know if she said that, but she did say he did, for sure.
Yeah, so let's just jump back. I think she said that. Let's just rewind a little bit and listen to this again, but I think so.
We've been seeing a doc for both physical and mental in terms of anxiety, short-term memory loss, lack of sleep.
She said we've been seeing the doctor for this. She didn't say we've been seeing the doctor for him, but she just went to that same doctor today, right, Daryl?
Yeah, that's what she said. But I'm wondering if there shouldn't be a period there. We go to the same doctor for these things, and she's picking up the sentence from before why he went or why she's explaining. I don't know. She doesn't seem to be very out of sorts, in my
No,
opinion.
I know my doctor. If you were having memory problems or something else, he would say, oh, wait a minute, that's above my pay grade. I need to get to a specialist. I shouldn't be seeing you on this. So it doesn't sound like it's a general practitioner versus someone who's a specialist maybe in that area.
Well, it does sound like it's a general practitioner, in my opinion, because she's saying that she sees him for physical and mental. I mean, your GP can prescribe certain things, right?
They can. But generally they can prescribe things, but generally they like to get it coming from the prescription written initially by another doctor before they'll go ahead and pick up and write those prescriptions. But that's depending on between manifestation and manifestation, or I mean between doctor and doctor.
For Prozac, for instance, can your GP write that?
Yes.
Yeah. So it could be mild mental, maybe attention, because he said he had brain fog. And so what do you, Adderall, right? I mean, could a GP prescribe Adderall?
Yeah, but generally, no, they could go ahead and prescribe Adderall. But generally speaking, you would have to have a diagnosis first coming from a specialist to say, yes, you need Adderall. At least in Washington State, I've dealt with this on a bunch of different levels, and usually your GP wants to send you to someone to get a diagnosis first before they're just going to start writing prescriptions, especially for something like Adderall or Ritalin or whatever.
That makes sense to me, but I think that there's probably some GPs out there, if you're really good friends with them, that you can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're right. I agree.
And based on the fact that this is such a freaking quick quick visit to the doctor, either they are good friends or they have the speediest intake and outtake of any doctor's office. I had some expletives in there, but any doctor's office,
any fucking doctor's office, yeah. You've never met my doctor, yeah. I've got a great doctor. I have to admit, Dr. Rob Killian out of Seattle is a fucking gem.
You go to him too?
Well, yeah, of course I do. I mean, I can send him an email and he actually responds to it. How many doctors that actually do that these days? None.
Not many.
Except Rob. And when you go into the back room, I mean, into the room where you're going to be seen, guess who takes the blood pressure? Guess who takes your blood or administers anything? The fucking doctor.
Yeah, that's not usual.
It's like, I'm back with, Marcus Welby, MD or somebody, but it's wonderful in 2026, and I just hope he never retires. He's a gem.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not usual. We have a lot of doctors we employ in my company, and a lot of them are that hands-on, but not very many.
No, not that many at all. And they're just scared about stuff. But either way, let's go ahead and continue on with this little piece after our side here. Yeah, we're older. We have medical issues. We have doctors. It's normal.
The same doc I went to see today.
Does he carry any weapons on him?
Well, not generally. He does have a gun safe, and I went to look in the gun safe to see if anything was missing, but I couldn't tell if anything was. He has quite a number of pistols and rifles. Other than saying if his brain and body keep deteriorating, he didn't want to live like that.
Can I ask a question on that?
Yeah. He said that if his brain and body keeps on deteriorating, he doesn't want to live with that.
Two things. Is your mic... Does anybody else hear Thomas's mic popping in and out every once in a while? It sounds like you're brushing it or something. Anyway.
It might be. Let me just double check here. I've got you set. No, I've got you to the right one, and I have adjusted the mic.
Yes. People are saying yes.
Sorry, audience.
Yeah, I do hear that crackling noise, too.
You're hearing a crackling noise go on. I didn't touch the mic, honestly.
Crackling or rubbing.
Okay. There are no loose connectors or anything. It's rock solid. Moving around.
Could it be the 911 call? That's crackling.
I'm curious about Mike's input on it. Yeah, there's a lot of crackling right there.
Yeah, I hear it now.
A lot of crackling.
I'm not hearing
Still
it.
going on.
It's static.
Yeah, it's static.
It's almost like you've got some extra electricity somewhere near your microphone.
Okay, we'll figure it out. The audience can maybe... Okay, they're hearing crackling, but it's...
I'm hearing it now.
I can see it.
It's not coming from anybody in the
I don't know
chat.
what the fuck... honestly, I didn't touch that part of OBS at all.
crackling pretty fucking loud
It's
right
getting
now.
worse.
Yeah, I just turned down my gain a bit. But you're not going to hear that, guys, because you've got a different audio set up for my can. Okay, I can't fix it. We'll figure it now. I can unplug and replug the mic, but that's not the problem. We'll figure it out.
Actually,
right.
just stop when you move the microphone.
You fixed it.
Fixed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something with the mic. Oh, there you go.
Now it's back.
Yeah,
Well, now?
it's back. No,
Now?
it's fine right now. Just leave it that way. Don't touch it.
I won't touch it.
Don't be a perfectionist like me.
Okay, it's a hardware issue. Fuck yeah, it's not software.
So what I was going to ask Mike was and I'm asking Mike because he's got this cop experience. Would you expect the wife of somebody of your, I mean, maybe this is a military thing, but to go to the gun safe immediately and go, I wonder if there's any guns missing?
Well, I could tell you that she is a full bird colonel
Yeah.
in the military, and she's a PhD. She has a doctorate. So she's a very smart woman. She's also 4 years older than him. She's 72. He's 68. So, yeah, it wouldn't, it's not surprising, Daryl, that she would check, especially if she thinks that he's causing harm to himself.
Oh, yeah. So if that's the case, then there's definitely something else afoot with him that they really haven't disclosed. If she's worried that he's going to go off himself, that's the first, one of the first places you go look is in the gun safe. I mean, I don't know.
But then she said he has a lot of guns, and she couldn't tell if one of them was missing. She also said that.
Because he has so many. Mike, that's not.
Yeah. But the point was, when the news was covering this and the sheriff's office, they came back and said that it was a small arms revolver that he took with him, probably a .38 snub nose. So if he has all those guns, how did they know which gun he took and she didn't?
And I've got a
that's
38. I've got a 38 snub nose. It's not a big gun. I mean,
No, not at all.
Maybe she was looking for the guns that were easily hidden or something.
But here's the thing, guys. He's missing a gun, and he's missing. And he's also missing his glasses. And because of that, he wears those glasses when he rides a bike. He wears the glasses everywhere. He wears when he goes for a walk in the neighborhood or for a hike, which means if he doesn't have his glasses,
He can't see.
he's like fucking Mr. Magoo.
Right.
He can't see shit. So even if he had a gun, about the only thing he could hit would be his upper palate without an issue.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Unless he had a spare pair of glasses she hasn't told us about. Which most people have glasses. Don't they have spare glasses?
Usually.
Yeah.
Well, Rick Doty, when he was on here last, he has a second.
He did.
I've got like 20 pairs of reading glasses, all prescription.
Oh yeah, they're all everywhere here. I don't have them. No, I just have 1.5x, 1.5x Amazon.
Sorry, I get mine from Zini.
So this 911 call.
Okay, you can put yours on. I got mine. Mine are clear on the bottom, black on the top, and they work really well. They don't hurt my eye.
We could be the Men in Black, Thomas, with these
Very
glasses.
good. Exactly. All right, let's continue with this audio clip. We're almost done. We got about 10, 20 seconds left. Let's play the rest of it. Here we go. All right.
But it seemed to me that was just a, man, I hate how this is going kind of thing, because I told him, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Okay. We're going to send some deputies up to talk to you, see if we can search a little bit and see what's going on, okay?
Sure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
There we go. So at least we've got an idea of what's been going on inside on this. It's not it's more information. We've gotten more insight into what's going on. It's been weeks. He still hasn't been sound, which kind of points to it, Mike. If he did actually make it through, at this point in time, the chances of him being alive are pretty slim.
Right. But if he would have committed suicide, they would have found that body within 72 hours. And they didn't. They found nothing. So none of this makes a lot of sense. And I'll go one better. And when this first began, and the report came out to the sheriff's department, and the news was talking about it, if you remember, we covered this as well. She made a public statement on her Facebook account, and she said that he is in good spirits and he has no mental health issues, no dementia. He's physically fit. He has no
Which is a lie at
Alzheimer's.
this point, because they've been seeing a doctor for their physical issues as well as, their mental issues. And him saying that if this continues on, I don't want to live. So the public statement, right, that she put out doesn't align with the statement that she just gave right now.
No, not at all. But the statement she just gave right now wasn't public. It was a 911 call.
Well,
So
that's
we
going to be
didn't know
public
it.
eventually.
Well, not at the time. Not around the time that she made that public statement. It's odd. It doesn't line up.
And are you talking about the statement that where she talks about the aliens and how it's probably not the aliens, but it probably could be the aliens?
Yeah. Right.
That's if you remember, Rick Doty said he thought that her daughter
wrote it. Yeah.
Wrote that for her.
Yeah.
Bizarre. First of all, it's really interesting that Rick would expect that. So he knows them pretty well, apparently.
Yeah, but even if the daughter wrote that statement, why hasn't his wife, Susan, come forward while he's still missing and put out a plea for help to the public? Because we haven't heard that either.
Maybe that's just not who she is.
Yeah, or from the daughter.
I would say that if somebody wanted to put themselves into protective custody, they could use the whole HIPAA aspect, and they could disappear really quickly just via HIPAA stuff if they were to, get themselves talking. It's HIPAA stuff and utilizing HIPAA, they can get themselves talking and they can disappear for God knows how long, but if they're hospitalized, that's the thing.
Yeah, but it sounds like this guy has just gone poof, vanished, and he's gone. And we'd wish his family and him the best, but it sounds like he's been having medical issues and got a reason to potentially pop out. Michael, your hand is up.
Yeah, I'm amazed that the Facebook statements don't really line up with the 911 call. So so it looks like she didn't write whatever was written on Facebook, and whoever wrote it got their facts wrong. But I think it's time for us to do a poll as to whether she knew or didn't know, or is involved or not involved.
All right. We asked that before, and she was at the top of the list of being involved. Let's go ahead and do it again. Let's go ahead, and the question is going to be...
we got new evidence.
I personally think Michael's involved, but that's just me.
Yeah, you never know.
You're still looking fuzzy, Daryl.
All right.
I didn't shave.
No, it's the camera. Don't worry. I told you that. That's what Windows does to you. All right. I've got a simple survey up for our audience right now. Hey, Google, set a minute for 1 minute and 30 seconds. All right, so this survey is really simple. One question or the other. McCasland's wife, she knows what the fuck happened, or she's just totally oblivious. And if you look at that, guys, 75% of our audience instantly, she knows what happened. She's not oblivious. What do you think, Michael Sokoloff? Or Mike or Daryl or anybody?
She's intelligent.
Mike was off.
She was a high-ranking member of the military. She's got a doctorate degree. She knows what's going on. This is the person she lived with. But I have a point about that real quick.
Yeah.
When she called the 911 operator, and she identified herself as Susan Wilkerson, she did not mention McCasland. Not Susan McCasland, not Mrs. McCasland,
Not
Only
Mrs.
Susan
Wilkerson
Wilkerson.
McCasland or McCasland Wilkerson. Either way, she may be just someone who's part of the ERA crowd back from the day. She's not the youngest.
She's 72. But yeah, no, the point is, if you have the hyphenated last names like that, but you're in a situation in the marriage where things are deteriorating, you could drop the married last name and only use your maiden name.
If you want to, but a lot of times it's your social security card, it's on your driver's license, it follows you everywhere. Your bank accounts.
Yeah. But she seems to keep omitting that part with McCasland. So I don't know what
It may
their
be something.
relationship
She's
was
been a
like.
professional for a long time in a lot of scientific roles, and maybe she's just someone who wants to keep her last name, right? Because of what she brings out, and she doesn't want to change it because he has value in that, and I can understand that.
But
Not
she's
everybody
using-
can, but I get it.
Yeah, she's using just her maiden name.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't sit right with me.
That's okay.
Is what I'm saying.
Everybody sees it differently.
Well,
But if I
look,
could,
we
I want to
talked
go ahead and end this poll really quick. Out of 65 votes in, where are you, my
Well,
friends?
Thomas, I voted that she's in the know. She knows what's going on.
Yeah,
She's
I
not
would
a
vote
stupid
she's
woman.
in the know as well, honestly.
Yeah.
She has
She
to
knows
be.
what's going on. She's not a stupid woman.
No.
She's very well educated. And why she did all those things that she did, I don't have an explanation for it other than
I don't
that.
think anybody yet does yet until we find the body or learn what happened to him.
Yeah.
Has it turned into a criminal investigation at this point, or is it still just a missing person?
Still a missing
no-
person. No,
Missing
Congress
sign.
is investigating it. The FBI is investigating it. The AFOSI is investigating it. But they haven't turned this, at least they haven't announced that they've turned it into a criminal investigation. It's still, quote unquote, a missing persons case.
Because there's no signs of foul play, Thomas. That's why they haven't changed it to a criminal case. Not yet. Now, if they find a body, that'll be a different story.
Yeah.
And a bullet in the back of the head.
Right. It
Oh,
wasn't
it's like the
suicide.
person who went and hung themselves and shot them in the back of the head 6 times and they're investigating this suicide.
Right.
So I have to ask the question then, do you think the FBI or local sheriff's department has gone to the doctor to say, did she come in here, zoom in and out?
Yes,
on
100%.
the date?
They had
Did
to.
But if it's not a criminal investigation, why would they do that then?
Well, you
Because
have to
it-
investigate all leads, don't you, Mike?
Yes, you do, Thomas. That was my next point. You're right.
Isn't that intent though? Isn't that assuming criminal intent of some sort? If you ask that
No.
question, what about
No.
if you ask the question of their children? Did Dad call you? Did Dad come with you? Did you come and get Dad? What if that never happened?
Well, if people in the family give a statement as to their whereabouts to the police that are looking into this, and the FBI, by the way, the law enforcement agency is going to run down that information that you gave to at least verify if what you said is true or not. And in regards to the FBI, let me remind you, if you make a false statement to them and they find that out, that in itself is a crime.
Felony, isn't it?
It is a felony.
Yeah.
It's a federal
Cannot
felony.
lie to the FBI.
No, you cannot. So because of that, they are going to run it down.
So
I will say it's hard to actually get into communication with the FBI, period. So if you can get into the communication with the FBI, don't lie to them.
no, you got to tell the
Right.
truth. I remember we had the FBI
Yeah.
knock on our front door several times when I was a kid in high school or in or middle school. For my sister Janice, who was going to work at TRW, the Aerospace Corporation kind of stuff, when they were working on parts for the Star Wars programs. So you can't lie to them. You just have to tell them the truth and way through it. But if you do lie and they catch you, not like with Congress, they come after you.
Oh, they will. That's a felony.
So I've got an update here coming to us from Newsmax that gets into this, and then we bring in Representative Burchett from the House of Representatives for a 1-2 whammy. Let's get to this one. I think you guys will enjoy it. Thank God we have all these covered today. And for a dead year, April is looking pretty good so far, Mike.
So far, it's getting interesting.
Oh yeah, to say the abs. Let's get the video full. Let's play it. Here we go, folks. Let's play them up all the way.
Have you heard about this? An absolutely wild story at a time when we could be on the verge of some kind of disclosure about alien life and UFOs from the White House. They've said this. 4 people who worked in government programs and knew a whole lot about that topic have either vanished or have been murdered. The first was retired General William Neal McCasland, who had ties to UFO programs in the government. He disappeared suddenly from his home in New Mexico in February. He left his phone, his glasses, and his watch at home. He also worked at an Air Force base that reportedly held the debris from the Roswell, New Mexico crash in the 1940s. Then it was Monica Reza, a former NASA engineer who worked directly under General McCasland on advanced propulsion engines. She vanished while hiking in California last June with friends who say they have no idea what happened. Then it was Nuro Lareyo, the director of plasma science at MIT. He was murdered in his home in Boston in December. And then it was Carl Grillmar, a Caltech astrophysicist who discovered water on another planet where there may have been life. Carl was murdered randomly in his home last month. Our next guest says this was not a coincidence.
Everybody's thinking it's UFO, but he had some nuclear secrets. There's just too many of them disappearing, Benny. Nothing happens by coincidence in this town or around this town.
Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett is joining us. He's also a member of the Oversight and Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, good to see you. What do you think's going on here?
Well, I don't know exactly. I just know there are no coincidences in this town. These folks have disappeared or died mysteriously, and there's the only thing that ties them together is the fact that they worked on things that are dealing with outer space, whether it's UFOs or nuclear secrets or missiles or what have you. But I think we need full disclosure. When I'm in a meeting, in a closed door meeting, and I ask about the president's points on these, and then I'm told by some arrogant, unelected bureaucrat that the president is on a need-to-know basis, I think that says everything it needs to be said about what's going on. I think there's an arrogance, there's an underlying, and I talked to the president about this. I said, it's just layers of the onion, Mr. President. You peel one off and there's another one underneath. You put your top people in, and it's just too much to clear out in 4 years. And it's just, we've got a real problem, I think, in this area. And I think you've got some arrogance. When I sit in a meeting and some little punk with a man bun is sort of running the show, and you have decorated military officers in the meeting there that are basically unallowed to say anything, and you can read their faces what's going on.
Well, General McCasland, he was not a minor player at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. He was there for more than 35 years. At one point, he was the top guy at that base, and he just disappears. His family has no idea what happened. Do you think the cases are connected, or do you think this is just some absolutely wild coincidence? Because all 4 of these people are also connected in some way.
Yeah, I think some of them could be a domestic issue, but I think overall, I think there is a connection there.
Okay, so you do think this is a conspiracy?
I don't think we're ever going to know, because it'll come out, and it gives enough time for the trail to go. It's like when a kid in Washington, D.C. gets, they find him dead, and they claim that he was mugged, yet his watch and wallet and he's got cash on him are not taken. But that's just the story that's put out, and that's what we believe. So I just do not believe this is by coincidence.
And people just do not disappear. And the connections between all 4 of these people.
Not in this day and age. No, you've got to have some real inside type of operation.
Okay, I want to play you a soundbite. Former colleague of yours, Matt Gaetz, making some...
Oh, here we go, folks. This is the shit that hit the fan earlier this week. We haven't gotten the clips of Matt up yet. We're going to hear them here. Let's get into it. Buckle up for this one. I just got talking to, think about this. More importantly, he doesn't have the filter level mic that we should have of hearing some schmucks out there who make grandiose claims and are potentially tied back to Stephen Greer.
Right.
Here we go. Here's the part.
Pretty shocking statements yesterday about aliens. Take a look.
I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication.
Yeah, let's rewind that one more time.
Oh, yeah.
Uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication.
Mike?
About this, an absolutely wild story at a time when
that screwed up on accident. I accidentally clicked on it. I'll get that back up. But Mike, this is just a situation we're hearing this coming from Gates. You know, there's a lot of fruits and nuts out there with regards to disclosure or bringing out the truth, but maybe some of the people who are out there talking about this and bringing up to about Gates are just some of the usual suspects. Even though they're wearing a military uniform, they're still freaking batty as a belfry, you would call it.
Was he laughing when he was making that statement?
No, he was kind of serious, but he's laughing at what he was saying because it's so
ridiculous. Yeah, what he was saying was complete nonsense.
So these alien breeding programs that we've been hearing about for the longest time are now run by the non-human intelligence trying to breed with us to figure out so they can deal with world domination. They're doing it because we want to breed with these non-human intelligence in order to create a hybrid race so we can communicate with the non-human intelligence, right?
Allegedly. It's total nonsense. It's insulting, actually.
Reminds me of someone from Eglin Air Force.
It is nonsense. It's nonsense and it's insulting. I'll say that.
Yeah, I agree.
Mux.
Yeah,
let's continue on.
Brief me, who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid.
I love the expression on Benny's face. It's better than Maria Bartiromo when we heard the ODNI the former ODNI at that time talking about what they've been seeing.
Right.
I need to grab that frickin' thing for posterity. My God. There we go.
Yeah. My God is right.
Yeah. Race that could engage in intergalactic communication. Aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants.
So, if it's a breeding program, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Where it's the humans are trying to cross-pollinate with the non-human with the aliens to create a super race. Sounds like Nazi Germany, but they're trying to go ahead and do that, and they're getting the people from war zones and from migrant caravans, meaning people who could easily disappear, like in Missing 411.
Right. It's complete and total horseshit. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Matt Gaetz a talk show host now?
Oh, a bullshit artist.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not in Congress anymore, and he has a show. So he could basically spew whatever bullshit he wants and get away with it.
Technically, he could.
Right.
Thomas, can I raise a question?
We'll get you, and then we'll get Syrup, because Syrup put his hand up. Go ahead, Whale Laser. Lord?
Okay, so let's say that it was a matter of psychotronics, and I'll define psychotronics as tools or instruments of the mind. So
Okay.
that's how I will define psychotronics: tools or instruments of the mind. So let's say that rather than it being a breeding program, well, we could say that was bullshit or horseshit or whatever, but let's say they were doing something. Let's say there was a psychotronics application. Are
Good.
you writing out the concept of psychotronics,
No,
being
completely different
relevant?
thing.
Or,
There are things that go on. There are attachments that happen. If you do certain types of meditation and you attach yourself to or they attach to you as a non-human intelligence and consciousness, sometimes it is a line that cannot be severed. But we're not getting into that part there. Here we're talking about a physical breeding program between the non-human intelligence and humans specifically. Does that make sense? But I hear you. I hear where you're
that
coming
makes
from.
sense. And if you want to boot me, you can boot me. Just I'm trying to understand. So you're saying it's totally a physical thing that you're into right now?
No,
for
that's
this
what they're talking about right
discussion?
now.
Okay.
I have no interest in booting you ever, my friend.
No, but I'll if there's somebody else that wants to go in, I'll let them in. But I'll get out.
You don't need to get out. We have more than enough room. We can handle 100 people in the back. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hang out. Don't forget, it's not all during the show. It's after the show where the real conversation starts. So hang out. Raise your hand as necessary. Be a part of the crew in the back. It's great having you here, well, Laser Lord.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
Take care.
You too.
I'll get out.
Thank you. Syrup, go ahead.
Yeah, I know you guys are saying it's bullshit, but I mean, I can't write it off just because.
I'm not calling it
if you
bullshit. It's just a.
Well, I mean, let's look at the Army when they had that experimental unit where they were practicing invisibility and fucking walking through walls and staring at goats to see if they could kill them and remote viewing. So they did all this weird stuff.
You're talking about the Stanford Research Institute stuff that they were dealing with back in the day with remote viewing.
Well, there was an actual Army unit, and it was called the First Earth Battalion.
Yeah, and it was headed up by Colonel John Alexander was there. Part of it, he was part of the Stanford Research Institute. Things they were involved in. It's been going on for a while, yeah.
So, I mean, if let's say, I mean, as far out as it would be, if they actually captured live aliens, I could see them trying to have a breeding program where they're trying some weird stuff. I could definitely see the Army doing, or whoever, doing really weird stuff like that. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. If they actually have live alien bodies, that is, which is also that'd be a lot to ask, right?
It's a possibility, Syrup. You never know.
And who knows? Maybe he really was briefed, and maybe some dude in an Army suit really did tell him that, and he was just blowing smoke up Matt Gates. You know what? Could be that too. That's all. I just wanted to say that.
You have to consider the source and who they're coming from and everything. I've got a clip. Play that one too. So let's watch the rest of this one. We got about 3 minutes left. Where it goes. Here we go.
All right. I mean, I don't have the tinfoil hat on just yet, Congressman, but I'm wondering, kind of how you react to that, because you are connected. You're on the UFO subcommittee. I mean, I'm just wondering what you make of that. Have you heard anything like that?
Well, I'm still a member of Congress, so I can't really comment too much on what Matt said. But I will say this.
So wait, seriously? Are you being serious, or is that tongue in cheek?
I'm being 100% serious. Okay. I've been 100% serious. I've been briefed by just about every alphabet agency there is. And I'll just tell you this, if they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up, you'd be up at night worrying about or thinking about this stuff. We just need to disclose it all. I'm sick of it. Well, I was briefed. I'll just tell you this. I was briefed last week on an issue, or excuse me, 2 weeks ago. And it would have set the earth on. This country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would.
Hold on. Mike, this sounds familiar.
I sent it to you the other day when we were talking about this.
Well, this is the whole interview, the whole part of it, not just the end part of it. But yeah, this is something that if people realized and knew what was going on, they'd freak out. But this is the same shit people have been saying for years, Mike. And now we got Timmy saying it.
What we have is him saying that they actually told him the truth. and showed it to him in a meeting 2 weeks ago. And then if it was to come out publicly, it would set the earth on fire. So now they're at the
let's do
point
it,
where
man. Let's get the
they're telling
gasoline.
him-
Let's torch this bitch.
Right. But
We
what I'm
need it.
saying is, so they actually gave him what he's been looking for, is my point.
Yep.
And then they told him that now that you know this, you can't breathe a word of it because it's national security. And you'll be in jail and disappear if you open your mouth. And he won't. He can't.
So, religion is a hoax. Life after death is a hoax. And they're here to go ahead and feast and eat on our consciousness when we die. There is no afterlife. The only thing in afterlife is consumption of our energy. Could that be strong enough?
It could be.
Yeah, it could
Consciousness.
be.
Yeah.
Because it takes all religions and the thought of an afterlife and the 46 goats, the 46 virgin goats.
Right. That's right. It would destroy that. But Lou was talking about that years ago, and we talked about it. What if everything you thought you knew from as a child
Was wrong.
to adulthood was all completely wrong? It would be a somber moment, Lou said. That was the somber speech. And now we had Burchett saying that now in 2026. First-hand knowledge. He was there. He saw it.
He's talking about the same thing like Cardin, but he's not saying I cried in my hands for weeks.
No.
Saying it would just be freak everybody out. Come on, let's
It
freak
would.
everybody out. It's time. We can handle
fucking
this.
Leak it.
Leak it to us.
Yeah.
We won't tell you where it came from. We'll tell the world the truth. No problem with that.
Or have Trump declassify it.
Do you think? Sorry to interrupt without putting my hand up, but real quick, do you think they told him? Do you think they told Burchett that on purpose, just in case he does find this out without them telling him that, so that they can legally make him not be able to say anything?
No,
about
he's been demanding the truth forever. They finally fucking told him, and he realizes, oh shit, this is bad.
And I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Come on,
exactly
say
what he
it,
just
Tim.
said. Yeah.
Blame it on your donkeys that get abducted and always reappear in the wrong place. Gotta love Tim.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Oh, he can get the president to declassify it, one or the other.
Oh, yeah.
He could do what, Mike?
Have Trump declassify it. He talks to Trump. Just tell Trump to declassify that meeting that he was in the skiff 2 weeks ago.
Come on, Don. You want to fuck with the world? You want to go down in history? You want to have a commemorative coin, don't you?
Do you think there's a possibility whatever information he was told is a national security issue at all, in some way, shape, or form?
As far
anything
as what,
that you could think
yeah,
of.
whatever Burchett was told. Do you think? Because we don't know what he was told, but it's groundbreaking
Honestly,
stuff, right?
my friend, I have to say anything that's out there, you could classify it as an urgent matter of national security and lock it all up. I want to thank True North 359, $20. Thank you very much. But it's they could take anything and lock it away if they want to. It's a matter of now. You know, look at the 46 videos that Luna called out, right?
Yeah. That's in Arrow's possession. That they never said a word to anybody about.
Nope.
Right.
And we do have a statement, a
imagine that.
long one from Shawnee Kirkpatrick, who popped his head out of the fucking asshole to go ahead and talk about things.
Yeah, let's cover that.
We'll get to that. Let's get to this one first. Let's play this. Got a couple minutes left. Here we go.
They would demand answers, and we need to. But you know, it's never going to get. Unfortunately, it just keeps getting covered up, and the people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal, and I don't take risks. So,
I'm glad you said that. I'm speechless, Congressman.
well,
We will have
should
you
be.
back.
You should be. And I
I
told
am.
the president, release it all. And the problem is the people that are around the president don't know and the president doesn't know the questions to ask. A few of us are going to have to get with the president and tell him what he needs to ask and where he needs to look. I mean, we're in meetings and they give addresses and tell locations of items, I'll just say. And the public has a right to know, dadgummit. It's your tax dollars.
Absolutely.
Let's get it out there.
You got my attention, Congressman. I appreciate you being as forthcoming as you have been tonight. And we look forward to having you back. Look, I know Donald Trump wants to disclose something. He hasn't done it yet, but I think he wants to be the president to do that. Tim Burchett, thank you.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
How about that? Syrup, your hand is up, my friend. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like he was insinuating that the people that went missing were either like kidnapped or suicided or something along those lines. It didn't sound like they just wandered off and got lost. I don't think he was insinuating that. What do you think? And he did mention he's going to have to tell the president these things. Like, it seems like the president's kind of clueless on it.
You know, for the second half of the video, he was more talking about disclosure and other things, not necessarily about McCasland.
Right.
Okay, I got you.
There's a definite delineation of 3.5 minutes about McCasland. Then he got into the stuff about the UFO. But either way, it's information that the public needs to know, honestly.
Oh, it
Well,
is.
he did mention that the people that were in the know are either dying, you know, like old age, or they recently go missing or something like that.
No, I think talking about that have gone missing, it's people that have gone missing over the last several years. It just happened recently.
Gotcha.
So I've got the full 2-minute and 27-second clip of Matt Gaetz talking with Benny from the Benny Show. Let's go ahead and play this little clip so we make sure we've got the whole thing. But he is up to date on it. So here we go, folks. Let's get to this one and let's play it.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating? What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
Yeah, I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened.
Hold on a second. I just want to bring this up, Mike. Said flat out, he did not verify this.
Well, let's take a look at what he just said.
We got a minute left. We can, but it's just coming down to the little point here saying that he did not verify this. Means he was told a bunch of information by a schmuck who used to be in the military, is still wearing a uniform potentially, even though he's not in, and he told them all these big, stupendous things, but there was no verification, which means
it's just a story.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and
a bullshit artist.
Exactly. So, and he's talking to a person who is senior enlisted in the Army. Oh, that's a sergeant. That's as high as it goes, sergeant, sergeant major. So you have an enlisted member of the Army who is running this super secret hybridization program, and they're trusting it to somebody with the rank of sergeant. Yeah, I don't fucking think so. It's not credible at all. Any of these stories, or any bullshit like that.
Doesn't seem like it, does it?
No, not at all. Oh, it's only run by low-ranking members of the, not officers who go to college. No, enlisted, which is just about anybody off the street. Yeah, they're running this super secret program. Oh no, they fucking aren't. So it's laughable.
Coming from the man who didn't check the age of the woman he was shacking up with, he didn't check the information of the telling them stuff. Go figure.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And what he wanted was a group, members of Congress, to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations, so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress to simultaneously show up at like 8 locations at one time, and so that never occurred.
What do you mean non-human biologics? Like this?
Well, that was the testimony of David Grush before the House Oversight.
Laura Campbell, go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny because if you logically think about all the secrecy for the true programs that they hide, they're going to spread this out between a range of 6 to, what did he say, 12 locations for these projects. Yeah, you're not. Think about it. The amount of money they'd have to spend on the secrecy and the people that protect the facilities for this.
Because they say that, Laura, really quick, if I could jump into that, 90% of the budgets they have for the research on non-human intelligence go to security to lock the subject down.
Right. So you're going to spread this to 6 to 12 locations, potentially having somebody see, hear, break in, come on. You'd have that type of high-level program probably in 1, maybe 2 facilities, but 6, it sounds like, your local hotel or whatever. That's hard to believe.
It is.
Sounds like an alien porn operation by the government.
Yeah.
But you know what? Only on Alien fans, not OnlyFans.
Right. There you go.
Yeah. Just had to share.
I read about someone today who had made like $20 million in a couple of years off OnlyFans, and she at the mid age of 25. Go ahead.
That's great. Thomas, can I share with you a story? I actually occasionally I meet interesting people. I met an interesting guy 3 days ago. He actually, so he was in the service, and he actually went to Area 51, but he was transporting generators. This was like 20 years ago. So like 20 years ago, he was transporting generators, and he wasn't going through, like how everybody wants to get in. They use these, like, he went through underground tunnels to get there. He had underground tunnels that he hit. He went through the place through underground tunnels. He got there, and then he got pulled out of his vehicle by surveillance. They had to do their strip search and all that.
Interesting.
So then after they did their strip search, he had to go through, but like he was followed by drones. And I'm watching all these people now, like still looking at the trying to like search it, and they're like, there's UFOs over there. He's like, no, my truck. He was transporting generators. He's like, my truck was transported, or my truck was.
Yeah, but if they're just transporting generators, I think they would take someone and bring them into a highly classified program, an SSA, a sensitive, secretly compartmentalized program. And that's kind of like, no.
He was military personnel. He'd done a couple tours and high class.
Right, but why would you bring in someone who's completely isolated from this just to bring in a generator where they could have people who are part of this to go ahead? It's just an interesting concept, though, Whale. I appreciate that.
I don't know, but he said, like, he went through a tunnel, and then there were drones literally following him to where he had his drop-off point, and then he had his drop-off point, and then he was like, they dished his stuff, and he came back from his drop-off point, and that was that. But he said the drones made him really uncomfortable.
Interesting that they have him running in the caves and everything that's going on, but thanks for that insight. Well, let's play the rest of this clip if we can. Here we go.
Committee, which I joined, and the testimony was that in crashes of craft that had been recovered by the CIA and through a special program that the CIA had for crash recovery, that it wasn't just the hard materials, it was also biologics, but that they couldn't identify a human source of those biologics.
Mike, interesting conversations, completely coming from Matt Gates. It's always interesting to say the least.
When he tells stories like this, it's a credibility killer for him.
Yeah.
He should learn to keep his mouth shut.
However, I do have a quote here. Not just a quote. I have Lauren Boebert talking in 2024 at one of the UFO hearings that went on back in that time frame about this specifically, which, this means that what Gates is talking about, Mike, just isn't there, but it's something that's been going on for a while. Let me play this clip if I can.
Go ahead.
Let's get to it. Here we go.
There are rumors that have come up to the Hill of a secretive project within the Department of Defense involving the manipulation of human genetics with what is described as non-human genetic material, potentially for the enhancement of human capabilities, hybrids. Are any of you familiar with that? Yes or no?
No, ma'am.
I am not, ma'am.
I'm not.
No, ma'am.
Most important information will be the biologics that are not human.
Well, Mike, there you go. There's Boebert talking about this in 2024. No one on the panel from Lou Elizondo to let's look who's
Mike
Lou
Gold.
Elizondo. We got
Tim
Gallaudet. You got Michael Schellenberger and Mike Gold from NASA. Nobody knows about what the hell she's talking about, but here we are a year later being brought up again.
There's no proof to back it up, no evidence, and people that are on that panel that are testifying who would know said they have no idea about what she's talking about. So I don't find it credible. And Lauren Boebert, isn't that the one that got caught giving a hand job in public?
Leave it to Mike to point that out. Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. One of those days. Just, I want to go ahead and point out, I've got a clip here of where Artemis is moving to, Mike. It's been on NASA. It's been out there a lot. We've been covering this stuff live, and it just so shows how fucked up NASA is and how behind the times they are compared to SpaceX. Just have to say, they're actually doing less on this mission than we did back in the Apollo stage.
Right.
When Apollo happened, they went from the Earth, they went to the moon, they went around the moons a couple times, and then they came back to Earth. But on what they're doing here in the Artemis mission is completely different. They're going around the Earth a couple times, going out to around the moon, looping around it and coming back, but it's not like they're doing multiple rounds around the moon. They're just doing one kind of loop around it, which kind of diminishes what we're doing now compared to what was done by Apollo in the past. You just have to wonder, why are they taking a step back from what we did in the past?
Because during the Apollo mission, the space capsule had a working toilet. The one they have now doesn't.
We have to ask the question, which partner, was it from Europe or United States or Canada, designed the fucking toilet that didn't work?
Boeing. Who else? We should do this as a poll for the audience.
We will. Let's go ahead and play this clip here really quick. It's just a all right, 23-second clip. So Artemis looping around the planet twice, going out to the moon as it comes past us. We're going to go ahead and loop around it. We're going to swing around it, and then we're going to come back to Earth. Come around and land. There you go. That's Artemis 2. It's less than what we did.
Can anybody actually explain? Can anybody actually tell me why this is a useful expedition?
I can't. Why? They did this last time, right? Well, they did this last time without any humans on board, so what's the point of doing the exact same thing they did last time, now with humans on board?
To make sure the toilet works, obviously.
Well, the humans can actually go ahead and press all the buttons now instead of being something that's automatic.
I don't get it.
I'm with you.
I don't get any of it.
It's bullshit, isn't it?
Whale Laser, they did do this in the original Apollo program. They did the exact same thing.
No, they actually went there and they circled around the moon a couple times and then they came back. This one is just a loop around the moon as it's moving around us and they're coming back. So this really doesn't even hit the benchmark of what they did on Apollo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We're doing less, but it's more.
Right. If it's an unmanned flight, like it was the last time, you don't need a working toilet, do you, Dow?
Sorry, what? If it's an unmanned flight, what?
The last time they went around, there was nobody that went up there, and they sent the spacecraft around the moon, right?
Yeah.
Right. During that flight, it wasn't necessary for them to have a working toilet then. They didn't need it. So it didn't matter, is my point.
Well, that was unmanned, right?
Right, it was unmanned, so it didn't matter if the toilet was working or not. No one was going to be using it.
Yeah, but I mean, you do want to. I mean, I don't, dude. I'm not the space flight director, obviously, but you know, when you put humans into it, it does change the environment. You know, you've got perspiration. You've got, you know, I mean, it's just you need to test things out with humans because you can't just assume it's going to work. But I mean, going all that way to test that seems kind of nonsensical. But you know, I don't know.
Well, interestingly enough, when you're out in space, there is no up or down, unlike here on the Earth. No up, no down. So when you're in a capsule floating around and you have to use the bathroom, they need to use suction and a seatbelt to strap your ass to the toilet, or you'll be floating around.
But it wasn't the problem with taking a shit. It was a problem with taking a piss for the men and the women because they need, you know, snap in and do its work. But the fan was like shut down, and there was problems with it that they didn't figure out. But don't forget, Mike, it's not just the toilet that had a problem. They also had a problem, go fucking figure, with Microsoft Outlook. Why are they putting Microsoft, honestly, in the fucking capsule? It doesn't make sense.
Well,
no, you don't.
Dude, here's an interesting factoid about this Artemis rocket. It's built by 2,700 different manufacturers,
including different countries who are out there who are bringing different points together to make it happen. Is a global, if you want to call it, initiative for humanity to go out there. But when you have 2,700 different entities bringing the craft together, can't control it. Whereas SpaceX, where you have 90% of all the parts that go into it are from one source. SpaceX.
Yeah, 85%. You're right. But it is crazy. I mean, not crazy. It's amazing that it does work. Honestly, you know, that's their claim was that it was all 50 states had some part made by some manufacturer in all 50 states. It turns out it was only 47 states. Just so you know.
And you know what? We need to stop running our space program by senators and House representatives who are trying to bring back money back to their state for the little components they're trying to build and bring it into one silo where they can go ahead and build this. You know what I mean?
I mean, it does work. I mean, but obviously it's working, except for the toilet and Outlook. But it is way longer. It takes way longer to produce these things. Way more complicated to have all these people involved. That's just simple math.
Probability, right?
Yeah.
The probability of something that can go wrong and get fucked up, the more you add to it, the greater it can happen. God, where is Diamond and Silk when we need them?
Well, there's only one now.
Where's Silk? Or what else? Got the McCasland stuff out of the way. Oh, here we go. This was brought up by Nick before we started the show today. And he said, Thomas. Let's get to it.
That sounds like Nick.
What about the Donald Trump memorial coin for UFO disclosure? Does that mean it's really happening?
I'm not touching that one.
Creating the challenge coin. It looks cool. You know, but you know what, Mike? How does this line up about us all getting our official Trump watch?
Yeah. Oh, look. He's selling something else. Big shock there.
But this is coming from the U.S. Treasury.
You'll lose every penny out of the gate that you invest in that shit.
You know, if he's doing this, Mike, you know what this is getting into? He's realizing how big this is. And if he brings out the truth and what goes on, he will be memorialized.
He would be. Any president that would make an announcement like this would be in the history books. I agree. But we haven't seen him do any of it yet. Nothing.
But I did have the executive order to cover it. My God.
Get it done.
Let's look at that in all of its glory, my friend. The truth is out there. UFO disclosure.
You know, this is...
Daryl, I know.
I mean, dude, that's got to be, I don't know. That can't be real. I mean,
corny. Really corny.
I mean, obviously it's not real. The fucking face is over on the other coin, bleeding over into it.
President Donald J. Trump, Disclosure 2026, UFO disclosure. The truth is out there. You know, Laura, what do you think? Is this real?
I just think it's hysterical because it looks like it's abducting the whole Capitol building, which probably would be a good thing. You know, clean the swamp.
Yeah.
Get all of Washington while you're at it.
And then we can finally have our king.
Yeah. They should have him and Melania dressed up like Scully and Mulder on the coin.
Have you seen there's a new X-Files coming?
It's the woke version of it.
It is, and it's DEI to its best, but they're not recasting Mulder and Scully. It's just two new people that are coming in.
That's great.
Neither of them are white because the last one can't do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm not watching that at all. So,
let me guess, you didn't watch the latest version of Star Trek?
Star
Trek Academy? Has anyone watched it out there? I haven't.
No, and they canceled it. That's how bad it was.
Yes, they're actually asking to go ahead and give it the Batgirl treatment, which means they did it, they completely produced it, but they will never release it. That's what they did with Batgirl.
They took a tax refund.
Tom, are you serious? There's literally going to be a black X-Files? Is that a real thing?
Yes, it is.
Oh, God.
But they've got a different casting for the woman and the man, and it's...
Trans.
Not
They're going to make it trans.
Just saying, it's okay. Whatever it goes, it goes. All right, so wait a minute. We got Ask a Poll. Burleson is planning to work with the White House on language. Mike, They're bringing back the fucking UAPDA for the 4th time.
They wouldn't need a UAPDA if Trump was to write the executive order and declassify everything, right? Why are they wasting their time with this bullshit?
Hold on a second. That means we need a poll.
Yep.
You know what? We need to get AI to create Anna Polina Luna and Star Spangled Banner outfit.
Oh, yeah,
Doing the
her
pole
stripper
dance.
campaign photos, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. All right, so start a poll. All right. All right, so I'm going to call this one a survey of NDAA 2024, what the fuck, 4th time fail or success. Okay, audience, this is your opportunity to get out there. Vote for it. Hey, Google, set a timer for 1 minute and 30 seconds, please. Now, then we'll play the clip of Representative Burleson talking about this. Can you tell he's on Ozempic, Mike?
He looks awful. Something's going on, Thomas.
He's like shrinking.
Something's not right. He doesn't look healthy at all. Yeah, he doesn't look healthy. Huh?
Did you hear Trump was talking at some deal the other day, and he mentioned, where's JD? Where's JD? Oh, there he is. He's lost so much weight, I can barely see him.
Oh, God.
All right, so there we go. Burleson talking NASCAR. We'll play the clip shortly. Mike, look at this. Our audience, 38 votes. Come on, let's get this up to 90 votes. We know there's a lot of people watching the show right now. Maybe you're not seeing it because you're on the left side of the screen because you're watching on a big screen. Let's take this, move this off to the right a little bit. Get in there. Come on, folks. Let's get to it. What do you think? Where are we at? 91% of the people, Mike, and our audience, for only 47 votes in, are saying the UAPDA 2024, I'm saying 2020, 2026. What the fuck?
Right.
92% of our audience is saying it's going to fail. So why are they going after it again?
Oh, we should do a follow-up poll after the Matt Laszlo clip.
It doesn't make fucking sense, does it? Why are they shooting this same shit again? They're trying to get it there, and it's not going to happen.
They're wasting time, Thomas. They should be getting Trump to write that executive order. That's what they need to be focusing their efforts on.
I know.
Because it'll actually work.
I know. Oh, I've got a clip here of Burleson, the full one. He doesn't, Matt Laszlo has the videos that he shows on X, but he doesn't actually have the full video with all the audio going on his Askapole. Matt, what the fuck you doing? Let's go ahead and play this. Here we go. Let's play it.
Capital. Host and founder Matt. Do you think there might be more support for something like the UAP Disclosure Act this time around?
I do. The time that I spent talking to these committee chairs in both the House and Senate is at least loosen the soil. Interesting. So I think that that'll give me an opportunity. Now when I go back and have the conversation, it's not going to be a fresh topic to them.
Yeah. Well, and especially now with the White House on board.
Yes.
She's saying, interesting. Because before, did you ever find out where the pushback
was? It may be that what we'll do is, like what we're trying to do right now is I'm trying to work with the White House, with the language, and say, look, based on what you're planning to do, does this dovetail in with what your goals are for release? And what kind of real mechanisms do we need to put in place to kind of operationalize this, loosen the soil? Disclosure?
Interesting. And have you talked with Rounds Schumer yet? Or
come on, he said dovetail. We haven't heard circle back or synergy yet.
A circle jerk, which is what it is.
Exactly.
Too early for that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool. So I think that that'll give me an opportunity. Now when I go back in.
Thanks for tuning in to Ask Him.
And it was fucking clipped off a man. So, you know what, Mike? It just sounds like Burleson is out there. He's trying to go ahead and bring up the same fucking shit that has failed 3 years in a row. And they're trying to do it one more time versus saying, you know what? We haven't gotten this 3 years in a row. Let's break it up into specific segments and see what we can get across. Because you know what? The UAPDA brings in the same bullshit approach that they had for the Kennedy files that didn't work, Mike. It took an executive order to bring out the truth on the Kennedy files, and we still didn't get the truth. They still locked it up.
And we also attempted this maneuver for 3 times in a row, and it got shot down each and every time.
So why are they going a 4th fucking year? Is Carl Nell's document that much? But you know, the most interesting point, we heard this from our attorney friend.
We did.
Yeah, he was talking about this and said the legislation that we have for UAPDA wasn't written by David Grush, wasn't written by others. It was written specifically by Carl Nell. Why is Carl Nell's document so important? They can't break it up and give us a proper way to get through Congress. Mike, they've thrown away like now 3 years already of potential UAP legislation that could be passed for this fucking bill. And it's not gotten anywhere.
No, it hasn't, and it never will. So, and Carl Nell, which we know is a advocate of controlled disclosure.
And Ivan Hanel didn't like it, and he's fought with him, literally screaming matches in the halls of Congress.
Why weren't you a general? What's your malfunction?
Oh, you never be a general.
Right. That's right. He's absolutely right about that.
Yeah.
Look, as far as Burleson is concerned, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Burleson is a schmuck. So I'm not shocked by any of this from him.
He's a tuckfard.
Yeah.
We could call him, yeah, exactly.
It's just a waste of everybody's time. Get Trump to declassify this and be done with it.
Just fucking bring out the truth. Freak out everybody on the planet. Destroy religion and society and make it the new world order. Right?
That's right. That's where we need to be heading with this and deal with it accordingly.
Yeah.
Everything
we
else
don't
is
need
just
another
a waste of
religion.
time.
We don't need
No.
Catholicism to capitalize on this and say, look, what we were talking about these angels, right? Oh, those are freaking UFOs. The demons, those are UFOs too. And we have it within our Bible. Come and be part of our religion. Forget what we've done for abusing little children and boys for centuries, but you know what? We've got this alien thing down pat. Trust me, right?
Right. And you've said this before. Demons don't need spaceships.
No, they don't, do they?
No, they don't.
Neither do gods.
Right.
You don't need a spaceship.
No, you don't. So what's next on the agenda?
Oh, I'm looking for that right now. All right, so Mike. Luigi Venditelli says this image 100% proves Bob Lazar's 1998 claim the alleged S4 hangar built into the mountainsides at Papoose Lake. If he can back it up, this moves from something to something teasable. However, if I bring up the image they're looking at here, Mike, move this up a little bit. So they're saying all these different parts that are going along here, those are showing entry points to S4. I don't see shit, do you?
No, I don't.
You see trails going on
No.
of different areas of what it would have taken to go ahead and create this? Any kind of trails in the desert or anything? No. You're looking at something that is basically Papoose Lake potentially, and they're pointing towards something when there's really nothing there.
Right.
So how can
You're
they
right.
say this is definitive proof when there's no proof to be had?
Because they're blowing smoke up everybody's ass. That's why. It's bullshit. Nothing new. Nothing we haven't heard before.
Oh, a bullshit artist.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So they want to go ahead and call it out. This is definitive proof of what's going on. But you know what? There's nothing there. This is a picture. They're blowing it up. You can see it's already blurry because of what's going on compared to everything else. And there's nothing truly there. It's not that we don't want it there, Mike. Actually, oh, wait a minute. I forgot to end the survey. Mike, we had fourth time as a fail, 85%. And we're going to deal with the success on the NDAA for 2024. It's going to be a failure for this year.
Oh, yeah. Like it is every year. Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate the audience for going ahead, really, and bringing out this information to it. Because a lot of times when it's out there and it's discussed, you know, we don't get the fingerprint of the audience. And as I always say, I will adjust my belief spectrum what our audience tells us.
Yeah, just bring us the proof and we'll change our mind.
Actually, I had a good conversation with Mike Morris and Ellen Levine the other with regards to what does everybody think about what's required for us to accept what disclosure is. And the best thing about it is I have surveys going back to 2021, Mike, that I've been taking screenshots of that really show where the audience is. Granted, there's a small selection, anywhere from people on a low side to 240 on a high side, and they've shown time and time again, every single one of you has given us an insight onto where you think disclosure is and what's required for us to believe it, Mike.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's why we do these polls.
Well, it's why we do the show. It's not just about us. It's about everyone's understanding. And no, we just don't want to believe anything. We want the facts.
Right.
Because with the facts, we can go ahead and make a, decision that's factually based and not something based on what we want, and it comes out to something based on what we know.
Right. It isn't about being faith-based. It's about actual proof.
Yeah.
We want to know. We don't want to guess about it.
See if it's. There was a news story that was supposed to be happening tonight on 8 News Now, KLAS TV. Let's see if I can find it.
George Knapp's the Las Vegas news program.
He was going to have a broadcast tonight.
Okay.
22 minutes ago, talking about hookers. 2 hours ago, not there, but George Knapp is going to be tonight on 8 News Now, KLAS TV, an exclusive interview with James T. Lakatsky, designer and director of OSAP, the largest UFO investigation ever funded by the U.S. government, tonight airing at 4:30 p.m. and 6 p.m. Pacific, which means it should have aired twice.
It should have been. It should have aired already.
I know.
Do a search in AI and see if you could find it.
I'm looking.
Hey Thomas, by the way, you had touched your microphone a minute ago, and so it's not bad right now, but it's starting to crack again.
Yeah, it's a hardware issue.
Second, wait. How about now?
Well, keep talking.
1 2 1 2 test 1 2 A B C D E F G.
It's still crackling. Yeah.
It's still crackling.
Yep. It's a hardware issue.
How about now? Any difference?
Yeah, now it's good.
Really? That made a difference.
Yep.
I mean, it's not cracking. Your voice obviously is less. It's not as loud.
Okay. How about now?
Fine.
Yes. Perfect.
That's good. All right.
Yep.
I won't touch it. What this means is there's something with the cable. It comes right here and it loops up and around. and goes into a connector that goes XLR.
There
format.
it is.
What?
There it is. Right when you touched it there, it went off. It started
How's
cracking.
it now? Let me do that.
Nope.
How about now?
Yep, fine for now.
Okay. It's the angle that goes on of this cable that's coming out of the microphone. If that changes, that affects the connection going to the mic. Now, I do have a cheaper version that goes over USB that does not have this problem. I can go back to that for the next show and see if that's an improvement or not.
Why do you have that
Anything would
other
be better than
microphone?
this one.
What?
Why do you have the other microphone? Do you ever have a guest?
No. The other microphone is sitting there because that's where it went when I disconnected it.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing another show.
No. See, there's the cable. I mean, this is the MV7 from Shure that I used for a long period of time. It went right here on this. It looks similar, but just a little bit differently. But it's USB versus XLR.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like the issue that's going on that everyone's talked about is coming off this particular cable here. And this is something that other reviewers have mentioned. This is a defect in the overall design of this mic.
Okay, Daryl, can I just talk with you?
Yeah. I mean, do you want me to give you my number, or what do you mean?
No, just he has a question for you right now.
We're chatting. Can I just have a direct conversation with you?
It's Thomas's show, man. It's not my show.
Throw out the question. Let's see what Daryl says.
I know it's Tom's show. So I know the theme of Tom's show, and I'm totally about it.
So why don't you wait till we close the show out any minute now, and in the back you could speak freely about anything you want when we're off the air.
Yeah,
I'm talking to Daryl.
Well, you can talk to Daryl. Give me about 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and think really quick. Anonymous Rex, just hang out. We'll be right with you, my friend. Give me a second to go ahead and wrap things up. I'm going to go ahead and thank everybody. Happy frickin' Friday, everybody. It's Fuck You Friday, and yeah, it's one of those days where my back said fuck you right before I started the show, but Franny's Room Temp's medicine actually worked. Thank fucking God. I'll go ahead and thank everybody that's giving us a super chat tonight. Holy cow, welcome to April. Wow. Anonymous Rex, thank you very much for the super chat. True North, thank you very much. Anne Marie, we had another one from Shelley Montgomery. Thank you, Shelley and Brendan England. We thank everybody for your love and support of what we do here on Disclosure tonight. Mike, I want to thank you for coming out tonight and everybody in the back.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, it was a great show. It was a lot of fun. We talked about many different things.
And I figured out a hardware deficiency, and this version of OBS actually works, so thank God. And I didn't crash once. All right.
Well, there you go. Crackling back.
Yeah. And as we usually say, my friend, at the end of every episode of Disclosure tonight, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everybody, but...
Go back to Party City where you belong.
Absolutely. We'll catch you in the flip side. And everybody, see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.